Well, first off, they have to have written risk-based procedures for conducting customer due diligence. And this is something I still go into financial institutions and I find out that, either they don't have written procedures for customer due diligence. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. There still could be, they're gathering information about their customers and they're aware of how it works. They just haven't really flushed out their written procedures yet. And like I said with CIP, in some cases, they may be doing something that's perfectly fine on the ground. It's just not reflected in their program. So you'll want to identify areas where their program just really isn't laying out exactly what the marching orders are. But the whole idea is you have written procedures used to understand the nature and purpose of the account or the relationship in general in order to develop a customer risk profile. So we're looking at letter A in the middle of the page there, this customer risk profile. Now we're given some flexibility as a financial industry on what exactly that customer risk profile needs to look like. But the whole purpose of this profile, it has to allow for ongoing monitoring and updating that information over time. Now, some lower risk customers, that ongoing monitoring and updating process may be relatively loose, and we don't have a lot of formal procedures around it. But for some other customers, we may have enhanced due diligence, where for the higher risk customers, we're doing more and more to collect additional information over time. So, for instance, if you had an ATM operating customer, if they have an ATM and your customer has one, you may be following up and asking more information and doing additional monitoring and due diligence. So does that customer risk profile reflect exactly what should be happening there? So again, the whole purpose of this, though, is so that the bank can understand what is anticipated activity and so that they can identify what is unusual activity. How can you know what suspicious activity is if you don't know what normal activity is for them? So again, we're going to have profiles that are based on specific risks associated with the individual customers or relationships. And really, the evaluation should be, is this appropriate? So what should the program have? Let's go ahead and jump to the next page.